Who could have thought? Xi Jinping's closest red second-generation brother, the number two person in control of military power, Zhang Youxia, suddenly became the number one traitor who leaked nuclear secrets to America overnight? This shocking news from the Wall Street Journal, is it the late truth? Or is it Xi Jinping's sneaky extra blow to get rid of a big threat by using someone else's hand? At the same time, even more shocking inside stories are coming out. In the final face-off before being arrested, Zhang Youxia actually pointed his finger at Xi Jinping's face and shouted that he was destroying his own Great Wall. He even made a death threat. If I don't let you walk out of here today, would that count as a coup? Is this a traitor struggling before he dies? Or is a military leader making a final move to force the leader out? Why does Zhang Youxia dare to be so bold? Behind this cleanup, what kind of unspeakable fear is Xi Jinping hiding? Hashtag The Wall Street Journal report. On January 25th, The Wall Street Journal put out an exclusive report by Wei Lingling. The title directly wrote, China's highest-level general Zhang Youxia accused of leaking nuclear secrets to the United States. Note, the name here is not just regular military info, but nuclear secrets. The report revealed that during a high-level meeting inside the CCP about the Zhang Youxia incident, someone accused him on the spot. Zhang Youxia is suspected of leaking core technical materials of the CCP's nuclear weapons planned to the U.S. side. However, no details were given. The evidence for this accusation came from the confession of Gu Jun, the former general manager of the China National Nuclear Corporation. Gu Jun was secretly taken away last Monday. In less than a week, the clues from his confession pointed directly to Zhang Youxia himself. The case was quickly raised to the level of strategic security. Not only that, the Wall Street Journal said the CCP also accused Zhang Youxia of huge corruption, especially when he worked in the Equipment Development Department and the military purchasing system. He used his position to take big bribes. One example was taking a huge bribe from Li Shangfu to help promote Li Shangfu to the position of Minister of Defense. Right now, Xi Jinping has personally picked a special task force to do a full check on the 5 years from 2007 to 2012 when Zhang Youxia was the commander of the Xinjiang military region. This step is seen by insiders as a clear signal to cut from the source of Zhang Youxia's system. It means the investigation is no longer just about recent people or money issues, but is going back to the key stage when his military power rose. Other sources said that the departments have already taken and locked up the mobile phones and communication devices of many key officers. These people are the generals who were promoted quickly in the same round as Zhang Youxia and the chief of the Joint Staff, Liu Zhenli. According to people who know, the departments have started checking officers linked to Zhang Youxia and Liu Zhenli. This means the investigation is growing from a single person to the promotion network behind them. On top of this, the CCP gave Zhang Youxia the political label of forming a clique for private interests. In other words, this is no longer just a corruption case. It is defined as a top-level political case that puts the security of the regime and nuclear strategy at risk. Hashtag logic holes and doubts. Does this feel like Zhang Youxia's story suddenly jumped into a Hollywood spy movie? Who is Zhang Youxia? He is a red second generation. His father, Zhang Zongsun, was the closest comrade of Xi Jinping's father, Xi Jiangsun. The families have been friends since the Yan'an days. He is a hardcore member of the Xi team, recognized by the military. Even at 75 years old, he could still sit firmly as the number 2 man in the military commission. Would a person like this sell core nuclear data to America just for tens or hundreds of millions of dollars? Where would the U.S. intelligence departments get so much money to buy off a top-level, active-duty general? Not to mention Liu Zhenli was also checked. Did 2 top military leaders join hands to be American spies? This picture is too crazy, right? The accusation of leaking nuclear secrets caused a nuclear bomb-level reaction in the overseas Chinese community, and the answer was one-sided. I have organized some representative voices to look at it layer by layer. Layer 1. The most direct logic failure. Many people immediately questioned. Zhang Youxia is the vice chairman of the Central Military Commission. He is the highest commander. He knows the nuclear counterattack orders and secret deployment info far better than Gu Jun. Does he need to go through Gu Jun to leak secrets? The logic does not hold up. Han Liangkao, who used to work in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, posted, "As the person in charge of the military commission, Zhang Youxia knows the core secrets, including nuclear orders. He doesn't need to ask Gu Jun for them. Even if he wanted to leak secrets, he wouldn't let Gu Jun know." He added, "If this was a real nuclear leak, the CCP would handle it like the Lin Biao incident. But they aren't doing that." Layer 2. The crime does not match the official words. The official CCP reports and military newspapers say the crimes are breaking the system of the chairman's responsibility, forming cliques, and harming the foundation of the party. These are all about being disloyal or having too much power. But the Wall Street Journal suddenly says, leaking nuclear secrets to America. This is totally different from the official tone. Former Professor Kai Xia highlighted that the military news did not mention leaking secrets at all. She hinted that the news might be fed to the media to make the case look worse. Layer 3. Who is leaking the news? An ex-user named Conlon said, "2 days ago when the crimes were announced, I wondered why it was finished so fast. Today, when the nuclear leak story came out, I understood. The first conclusion was too rushed, so someone used the Wall Street Journal to fill in the gaps." Others say this is like the old Zhou Yongkang case. They use a leaking secrets label to make sure the person can never win, and then they build the case slowly. Hashtag, a cold joke. There is a funny and mean post from Kunlun that turns the nuclear leak into a comedy. He wrote, "Today when the news came out, the US Director of National Intelligence was in a meeting with Trump. She immediately called the CIA director and asked, 'Do we have a spy in China who is a vice chairman of the military commission? How much did you pay for that?' The CIA director, sweating, replied, 'The CIA isn't that good yet. Maybe ask the Defense Intelligence Agency? They have more money than me.'" This joke points out the truth. How much money would it take to buy a top leader? What information could you give him in exchange? In reality, it is almost impossible for the CIA to get a spy at that level. Hashtag, the history of labeling. If you know CCP history, this feels familiar. When Mao Zedong wanted to take down Liu Shaoqi during the Cultural Revolution, he used the same trick. In 1968, they called Liu a traitor, hidden talent, and labor thief. They said he worked with foreign powers. Back then, these were called iron-proof. No one dared to help Liu because if you did, you were a traitor too. Later, it was proven that these were all lies. Now, the same thing is happening to Zhang Youxia. Once the leaking nuclear secrets label is stuck on him, who dares to defend him? To question it would be to question national security. Hashtag, the coup version. Now let's talk about another version. This one comes from Chai Shenken. He described a big inside story. About a month ago, Zhang Youxia had a face-to-face fight with Xi Jinping in a small meeting. Zhang blamed Xi for constantly cleaning out the army and hurting its image. He said the military had lost its dignity. At the end, Zhang reportedly threatened, "If I don't let you leave here today, would that count as a coup?" If this is true, it explains why Xi Jinping moved so fast to take down Zhang and everyone around him. This is a direct threat to the leader's power. This version matches the official news better than the spy version. It's not about selling the country. It's about disobedience and forcing the leader. Hashtag why Xi is afraid. Zhang Youxia is an old big brother in the army. He has deep roots. Many officers were promoted because of him. Xi Jinping's new people are young and don't have much experience. Compared to them, Zhang has more respect and power. When Zhang said, "I won't let you leave," it wasn't just a mean comment. It was a real threat. It showed he had the power to make it happen. This is why Xi Jinping is reacting so strongly, taking phones, checking old records, and arresting everyone. This cleanup proves that Xi Jinping is truly afraid. He realized that his most trusted brother could actually threaten his life. This isn't just about corruption anymore. It's about who really holds the gun.